We was in bed. It was about 7 o'clock, and the kids woke us up. I tried to tell them to go away because I said it was my weekend, but then they said, no, Mom, it's urgent. There's water under our house. So just went out to have a check, and then we just couldn't believe our eyes. It was hard to even think.
I never seen that river so thing, never seen that rushing and all that thing so quickly, Like before, it was just a normal flood, just slow and steady one, Not that fast flowing water, but then the river kept rising and rising. And then sure enough, I seen that flood coming through here now, just flowing around everywhere, but really fast and not like the normal flood that we have.
I just told my kids and my partner just to grab our clothes and our food, just the main things. And then by the time we packed our four-wheel drive up, the water was just like above the wheels. But then we realized now the water is not stopping, it's keep continuing to rise. So that time we couldn't drive our car around anymore, so we had a little dinghy without a motor, so we just chucked everything on there and paddled across to the upstairs house. And it just kept rising.
One of my niece, I told her to ring for DFS to get us out of here. Then they came just when the sun was just setting.
We was the last one to get evacuated, me and my family. The Bungardi Rangers picked us up and they took us to the Oval, the rec center that was where the evacuees were staying. But it didn't really sink in till later on, and then that wasn't a good feeling when we finally realized that what was going on,
I'm not used to town. I didn't feel like staying there, really, but I had no choice.
There were ideas thrown at us to say that if we could move our community to a higher ground. We just kind of told them that it wasn't possible because we can't go anywhere else, because we connected to the land.
Me and my sister Dyer, we said, no, we're gonna still stay in this community no matter how many floods come through. You're not gonna move us. This is our home.
Talking to the community and Diane and Judith and others, it was really clear that they were keen to get back out there really quickly and resettle into that community to ensure in part that the kids were back out of Fitzroy Crossing and back in a place that they knew, but also for the social emotional well-being of the community and the leadership of the community to be back in their home rather than displaced in Fitzroy. So one of the pieces we had to work through really early on was, is it viable and can we come up with a way that we can rebuild these communities to enable people to remain living on country and in the communities where they've called home for many generations. So it was great to be able to sit down with that community, hear what they wanted, get them back in there, and now 8 months on, we're seeing a number of those things which they've asked for start to be done.
They started listening to us and started helping us, We knew then that they've listened to us, and they heard our voice crying out for help.
based on the hydrology and the function of the floodplain, we've been able to set a new minimum floor level. And so we can actually continue to build houses in these communities, but build them back with some resilience. So we're going to build them higher, about 1.8 to 2 metres high. We're building with different building materials, so if there is another flood, the actual walls hold up better. They'll be self-draining. We lift power points, we lift key infrastructure. So one of the amazing things here is that we didn't have to go down the road of saying people have to leave these communities. We've actually really shifted that whole conversation and go, how can we build back and enable people to live in these communities? Because if we start talking about people not living where they love and what's home to them, that's not the place we want to be to enable, you know, a long-term, safe, friendly and resilient Fitzroy Valley.
We thought the crane going to do it or something, you know. We didn't know it was hydraulic. They had all these things right around the house and two in the middle. We just had to press the button, and all the kids couldn't believe, you know. Oh, look at that. He lifting up that house, you know. They were really so happy.
It feels really good to see our home finally getting worked on, and it's good to see that we didn't lose our home like completely, and they could work on it to rebuild, and maybe in the next year or so we can move in.
I'm just thankful that, you know, there's so many of these men and women that have helped us through this, and they are still here helping us out. And we're so thankful that they got us back here to our community.
We're grateful. We're really grateful that we got the help from everyone, Shire, DFS, the government, locals. At the end of the day, just everyone worked as a team. Well, I guess this is a good example of us working together with the government. Like, we got a good outcome. If you just sit down and listen, and you can like make things work, you know. Just to see our kids running around and playing, you know, and back down the river, that's just even better.
They love swimming. They missed all that during that time we were in town over the floods, you know, and they couldn't stop swimming or just playing around, rolling themselves in the sand and everything like that. You know, they just love being out back to the community with every one of us. This community got established by our late uncle, George Brooking. And we're not going to leave it. We're going to still be here looking after it for our kids, their children, our grandchildren, and future great-grandchildren that comes along.